Alright, this is hilarious. If you know anything about Japanese games, they're very problematic. I mean, I personally talked with a couple of Japanese translators that translate hentai games, and one of the things that they have to constantly remove from the games is the racismus. And we're talking about hentai games. For example, lines such as an NPC will tell you, be careful when going behind the house in the dangerous alleyway because the dark ones are there and they will try to snatch your purse. You know, lines like that are being removed. So it's very funny when you see a modern, Western, enlightened American journalist talk about Persona 4. Now, the reason the media is talking about Persona recently is that they used to be console exclusive games, and now from what I understand, some of them are even being sold on Steam. And if you want to get that vintage experience, because these games were incredibly popular, you can download and you can play them. And they haven't been upgraded for the modern audience. And this is the modern audience, alright? Like, hold on. Let's zoom in so we can look at the modern audience, alright? This is who the corporations and the entertainment industry has to serve now. And if you have no representation, like if in your game there's a lot of Japanese people, the modern audience isn't happy. If you have a joke with a sexual connotation, the modern audience isn't happy. If you have a titty, okay, the modern audience is displeased. So obviously, none of these video game journalists, aka the modern audience, were capable of actually reviewing the game. That goes beyond their abilities. Instead, they were very capable at complaining that the game isn't Americanized. You know, if these people have access to a button that would allow the United States to invade Japan and colonize it, they would love to do that. You know, just to make sure that the Japanese entertainment is properly Americanized, right? Like import California culture into Japan and make sure the Japanese get on board with the modern audience sensibilities. So I want to show you, like, because this article, like, wow, you know, it's a lot to read, obviously, but they also give a couple of examples on sexismus, and I wanted to see, like, what can it be sexismus in Persona, and here you go. Right, this is the misogynismus. All right, like American women are quaking when they are looking at this. They are being disempowered. Right, like you have Hollywood struggling hard to empower women with brilliant movies such as female Ghostbusters, Captain Marvel. Right, like they're struggling really hard, and this depowers women. Look at this one. Oh my God, Yukiko-san is back. That's good. I'm glad the only cutie in the class was able to return. Wouldn't you guys agree? I mean, this is, wow. How could they? The developers, those 6 sons of bitches, look at what they did. You know, this is more interesting because I'm not worried about the misogynismus. This is more of the teacher-student relationship. I mean, even in Europe, this would be a little bit improper. But actually, no, it depends on the tone of voice. Right? I know that for woke Californian people, they're like robots. They don't really know how to human. For them, context doesn't exist, like body language, the inflection of a person's voice, irony, sarcasm. They don't get those, right? So if you're a game developer, you need to be very careful. But yeah, like if the teacher like had a friendly relationship with all students and said this as a joke, I don't see the problem. But I'm pretty sure a Californian would tell me why it's problematic. Look at this. While we're on the same subject, could you stop calling me at night just to tell dirty jokes? Horrible. What type of monster? What beast of a man calls a woman late at night to tell her dirty jokes? There's more. Hold on, like there's more complaints, man. The more you read, the better it goes. Let's scroll down a little bit. Here we go. The dungeon and its boss are heavily sexualized. All right, this is heavy. So heavily that I can show it on YouTube. I wonder if this is heavily sexualized. Like if you actually see a hentai game, how would you call it? Hyper, mega, super duper heavily far right sexualized. Huh? Is that how it would work? man, you need to be careful if you're a journalist when using language, right? Like, you need to leave room for something that's a little bit more than what you're describing. Look at this. Oh my god, this is muy problemática. Harm. Dangerous. This see, I need to become a video game journalist. You need to use the proper words. Dangerous. Harm. Huh? You need to scare people. You need to scare the living shit out of your readers so they keep clicking. Like, why else would they click on your rag? What rag am I reading from? What is the... Oh, Eurogamer, of course. it was Kotaku level, but then I had to check, you know, because Kotaku is having a little bit of a competition, you know, free market and all that. My god, the other articles from the other editors from there. The other articles from the other publications are just as bad, if not worse. Like, stereotypes. Dialogues filled with misogyny and homophobia. Oh my god, it has not aged well. It's not a bottle of fire red wine, but sparkling that's gone flat. Man, it's fascinating how the sparkling that's going flat is selling so well, isn't it? Right? Like, it's almost like if you do the opposite of what the modern audience tells you, you manage to sell your product. I mean, this is a game like Persona, right? It's a game that has worldwide renown. I don't think there's a country on Earth that hasn't heard about Persona. Like, this is a classic. It's like the Beethoven of video games, you know? Like, and it's also filled with diversity. Rich, chat, rich, vibrant diversity made by Japan. What more can you want? What more? Like, there is not a single white person on the development team. Like, you should be happy, Ed Nightingale. You should be like, oh, this is so good. This is so good. Like, the maximum diversity. You can't get more diverse. No, it's not good. Why? Because it's not American. Ah, I see. So you don't want diversity. You want American imperialism. You know what? I'm starting to like Ed Nightingale. Yes, we need more imperialism. What is this nonsense? Diverse patui. We need American imperialism. The Chad Ed Nightingale has decreed. Manifest destiny. We shall occupy Japan and force them to stop making anime. Make progressive cartoons instead. A la CalArts. Man, it's so interesting. Like, with all the games that they're asking for this shit, right? Like, they just don't want games to have that essence of the past. It's so cool, you know, like when you pick up an old book, for those of you that still read, you pick up Mark Twain or you pick up like an old book and you get to experience how people thought during those times, what values they held. But no, like for them, if you republished Mark Twain's books, it would have to fit for a modern audience. Like, it's just so fucking insane. It's like we shouldn't have any past anymore, right? Like year zero, year null, where everything gets erased. And from that point forward, like, everything needs to be revisited and re-educated. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.